Hi y'all, Tracey with Trials of a Long-Haired Girl here. I am here this afternoon so we can go through what I like to call Meal Planning Monday. I thought I would do something a little bit different in this video. Forgive me for looking over this to the side here, but I have my computer sitting over here which actually has my meal plan in it, what I have written out. But what I thought I would do is kind of go over, I've explained this in a couple of different forums and I'm not sure that it's, the way that I'm saying it, that it's being understood. So I kind of wanted to come on here and kind of share that as well as what I'm planning on having this week. So here is kind of the big thing. I know this sounds really funny for me to say this way. I had tried meal planning for years when this was mentioned to me. Several years ago, there is an older couple that has been going, they are Lifetime, I believe, and they had been going to the Weight Watchers meetings for years. And so at one point during our Weight Watcher meeting, we were talking about meal planning. Because as we are all aware, that's kind of important when you are on a journey to get healthy or to lose weight. Those are things that are important. Let's start slowly here. I'm going to go over what I'm actually planning on having, and then I'm going to tell you kind of how I go about actually putting that down in writing. So one of the things that I am planning on doing is I am planning on doing the Olive Garden Zuppa Toscana crock pot recipe. It is a copycat recipe by Recipes That Crock, I believe, that I found on Pinterest. I have some kale and some spinach that I want to use up. So I'm thinking, you know, since I'm trying to clean out my pantry, I'm trying to clean out my freezer and my fridge, this is one of the things that I'm going to fix. So that is one of my first recipes. Then I also want to do a slow cooker sausage and potato casserole. Lots of cheese, lots of potatoes. I mean, how can you go wrong? Also, I found a recipe for a slow cooker pesto chicken ranch that I really want to try as well. An easy slow cooker taco pasta. And then a recipe that Christy did a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, was the crispy baked cod with cheesy potatoes and roasted broccoli. And then we're going to do a stromboli this week. So basically, here's what I would do. The way that they said it is write it down on something that you can easily change. I started out with a dry erase board that I got from the Dollar Tree. But because when they mentioned this concept to me, I was like, wow, really? It's that easy. And really, it is that easy. So what I've kind of done now is I get these little Post-its like this size. I know that some people use like the flags, which would also work. But this, what I do a lot actually is, sorry, but here is my planner. And see right down here, there is a place for me to put my meals. So what I do, and what I ended last year doing, is I would take my meals and I would write them down. So for instance, the Olive Garden Zuppa, and if I'm not saying this right, please don't correct me, because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, as long as I know what recipe it is that I'm looking for, that's what matters. So I actually write it down on a Post-it. And I go, okay, what day is going to be the best day for us to have it? Well, here's the thing. My husband starts his new job on Monday. And we have prayer meeting on Monday. So Monday is going to be a good choice for us to have a quick and easy meal. So I'll actually put that down for Monday. And then slow cooker. And y'all please forgive my handwriting because I'm trying to write this in a hurry and yeah. Okay, so slow cooker sausage and cheesy potatoes or potato casserole. Because this is another one of those quick meals that I can kind of prep the things that I need to prep. Like, honestly, I was going to try to use the Simply potatoes, diced potatoes. So for this is going to be a relatively easy meal that I can put together. So I can cut my sausage on Tuesday night. Tuesday nights, we don't have anything specific planned. We're not in a hurry to get out of the house. And so I'll actually put that on Wednesday night, because Wednesday night I can prep the stuff I need. I can prep my sausage and all of that on Tuesday night. And it'll be a quick meal that we can have on Wednesday because we are going to be in a hurry. We have to get out to get to church. Then the slow cooker chicken pesto ranch. We're probably going to do that. You know what? On Friday. Friday seemed to be a rough day for me. Being the end of the week, I probably need something a little lower in points because, as y'all may have heard me say, oftentimes my bosses will buy us lunch on Fridays. And I don't always make the best choice. I'm not going to lie. And then we have the slow cooker taco pasta, the crispy baked cod, and the stromboli. I know it seems like we've been having pizza or stromboli or stuff like that a lot, but honest to goodness, I have some pizza crust that I need to use up, so there's that. Okay, I'm going to do the Olive Garden Zuppa Toscana crock pot on Monday. I feel like Wednesday would be a good day to do the slow cooker sausage pasta or potato casserole, pesto ranch chicken. I want to do that on Friday since I may not have an opportunity to be on plan otherwise. And I think probably what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put it over spaghetti squash or whole wheat spaghetti. The crispy baked cod, my husband and I actually talked about this. And this I need to do when I have more time. So maybe Tuesday night or Thursday night. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on Tuesday night because that'll kind of give us another hearty meal. Then probably the stromboli on Thursday night and the slow cooker pasta on Saturday. Because honestly, one of the other things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to focus on staying on plan on Saturdays because I have gotten into a bad habit of not doing that. I know there were some challenges going on that were basically, no weekends, and I need to bring that back. So anyway, basically, my calendar now looks like this with my Post-its on it. So I know what general idea, what day I want to do that. But the beauty of the system is it's not set in stone. Say something comes up and I'm still not feeling well, or, my husband winds up having to work late, or I have to work late, or whatever, and I don't have time to do the crispy baked cod on Tuesday. The beauty of this system is I can take this Post-it and I can go, okay, the stromboli would be easier for me to do on Tuesday. We'll have the stromboli on Tuesday and I'll do the crispy baked cod on Thursday. So I still know what I'm having during the course of the week. But if I need to change it, I can. The other thing that I kind of started doing, sorry, let me grab my pencil. I created myself this little meal planning sheet. I have been using I'm not going to lie. Carrie L has the free printables on her webpage. So I was actually printing those out at my office and using those. And most of the time, if you look closely, I don't know if you can tell really, but I was writing it out in pencil. And that way, if something happened, I could easily erase it. One of the things that was suggested in a video that I watched, which I really think is a really good idea, she suggested taking meals that you typically have the items for. Write down. I have down 1, 2, 3. I have down 10 different meals. And for our house, basically the 10 different meals that I picked that I generally always have the items on hand to make are fried rice, quesadillas, burritos or a taco bowl, cheeseburger and tot casserole, which for me, you know, it's the cheddar cheese soup, a cream of soup, which I don't use cream of mushroom because my son is allergic to mushrooms. But we like it with cream of onion, cream of potato, cream of bacon. And then I generally always have tater tots around. Beans and cornbread. That's another easy meal. We generally always have the stuff to make that. A vegetable soup, a pasta e fagioli soup. And when I put that down, I was actually talking about the vegan pasta e fagioli soup because my daughter had quit eating meat. But now she's eating meat again. So there's that. Hamburgers, breakfast for dinner, and spaghetti. These are things that generally speaking, we always have the stuff around the house to make those. So if I'm struggling, if I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my calendar and I'm going, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to have. Then I can pull one of those meal ideas. Because usually I can do some variation of a breakfast for dinner. I can do some variation of spaghetti. Some nights it may be spaghetti and meatballs. Some nights it may just be spaghetti and sauce and garlic cheese bread. Or it may be spaghetti and sauce, garlic cheese bread, and a salad. You know, it kind of depends on what I have on hand, but the basic meal I always have the items around for. If you have a specific night that you do things like you always do Taco Tuesday. Obviously, we don't always do Taco Tuesday, but if that's something that you do, when you're filling out your meal plan, go ahead and write tacos. If you do pizza every Friday night, do pizza. You know, go ahead and fill in those blanks first, and then you can fill in, and then you're looking at your calendar going, oh, well, this is easy. I can do soup on Monday, or I can do a casserole on Tuesday or Wednesday because I'm doing tacos on Tuesday. I can do fish on Thursday, pizza on Friday. Then all I have to do is think of 2 more meals. If you plan for 7 days a week. I don't typically plan 7 days a week. Here lately it's been Saturday and Sunday, like I said. But I use at least one day on the weekend as kind of a free day where we go out to eat. I'm not planning or we're having leftovers. It's something like that. But hopefully that kind of helps for those of you who are struggling to meal plan. And then for lunches, a lot of times what I do is I will plan to take leftovers. Hopefully y'all have seen them. I can't really show you a picture. I'll try to find a picture and we'll insert it. I have a lunch crock. I actually bought this for my mother before she passed because when she was living with us, this is her chair actually that I'm sitting in. When she was living with us, one of the things that I did is I actually I made her lunch. I put together her snacks. They all got put either in a lunchbox or they got put next to her. And the way we had it set up for her is we would actually set a tray table up. And if she had something that she needed, like when the weather was cold, and it was something warm for her, like a soup, she was a big fan of the chicken noodle soup, so I'd put chicken noodle soup in the lunch crock. And we set it up so all she had to do was flip a switch, because the downside about the lunch crock is that it doesn't have an on and off switch. You have to plug it in or unplug it. I think maybe some of the newer ones have an on and off switch, but the one that I bought her at the time, that wasn't an option. So what we did is we set it up on a timer thing, and all she had to do was push the button. Like, she had a little remote control, and all she had to do was push the button when she wanted her soup to start warming up. I put her silverware, I put her a napkin, I put any snacks that she might want to have. She wanted to have crackers with her soup. If she wanted like a peanut butter and crackers for snack, anything like that, because my mother was diabetic and I could not risk her blood sugar getting low. I also, and you know what, if you think I was wrong to do that, please keep your opinion to yourself in that regard. My mother was diabetic, but one of her weaknesses was a Pepsi. She loved her Pepsi. So I would put a Pepsi and a bottle of water or two in a lunchbox with a freezer pack so that it would stay cold. Even up until the time that my mother passed, she was still drinking Pepsi. It was harder for her to drink, but she still drank it. My mother did not do diet drinks. My mother had a reaction to Splenda, which a lot of y'all have, if you're in the groups with me and things like that, you've heard me say, I don't do the artificial sweeteners. And part of the reason that I don't do the artificial sweeteners is because of the reaction that my mother had. My mother actually had welts pop up on her body in different places that she physically could not wear a bra. It was painful for her to put on clothes. And as she was doing some research, because the doctors weren't even sure what it was, as she started doing research, she figured out that this was a reaction to the artificial sweeteners that she was using. So I don't do that. That is just not something that I'm willing to do. It's a personal preference. And yeah, there are some things about this journey that make it harder when I won't do the artificial sweeteners. But the fact of the matter is, that's my choice. It's just like, I'm not going to do the light butter and stuff like that, because I'm sorry, my preference, I want to be able to name everything that's in my butter. I might do a cashew milk or an almond milk or an almond coconut, which I do a lot of almond coconut. But I'll be honest, I made a breakfast casserole last week or earlier this week. I did a breakfast casserole. I threw a little cashew milk in there instead of half and half or heavy whipping cream or milk, or like whole milk, not fat-free milk, because I don't do a lot of the fat-free. I am doing the fat-free Greek yogurt so that I can do the 2-ingredient dough, but typically there's not a lot of the fat-free I'm letting, or light even, that I'm letting into my life. I do some of the lower fat cheeses and stuff like that, but consistently, if I'm doing something for my family, if I'm making a macaroni and cheese or something like that, I typically use mostly all full fat stuff. And I take the point hit for it. It's something that I plan for. I have, while I've been on this journey, and I've been on this journey for a while, like since before my husband and I got married, and I've gone through various incarnations. Like before my husband and I started dating, I wouldn't call myself a gym rat, to be honest, but I was at the gym. I was doing at least 2 workouts a day. I was doing all the fat-free, all of the processed foods, all of the low-fat, fat-free. I did all of that. And I lost down to the 160s. And then life happened. I lost my job. I no longer had the friends that I was going to the gym with. And the other side of that coin is I wound up having to have my gallbladder removed, and I was so sick until they finally figured out that my gallbladder needed to be removed that I pretty much did nothing but try to eat something every now and again, which was hard because food made me sick. And I would go to work. I would try to make it through my day. And then I would go to the friend that I was staying with. I would go to her apartment and pretty much go to bed. I wasn't working out. I wasn't. So when all of this started happening, I started putting the weight back on. And ultimately, by the time my husband and I got married, I was up higher than I am right now. By probably, when we got married, I was probably almost 200 pounds if I hadn't hit 200 pounds. And for those of y'all that don't know, I'm only 4'10". So 200 pounds at 4'10", I was not moving a lot. And while I've hit various milestones, we'll call them milestones, since my husband and I have been married, and I've taken some weight off and I've put some back on, and I set a goal for myself 2 years ago. And then, kind of life got in the way. That I wanted to hit my goal in 2019, and it didn't happen. But one of the good things that happened is I found more of a community. Not just in YouTube, but I found a bigger Facebook community. So I had people who were supporting me aside from my husband. Because while my husband supports me, a lot of times if I push the issue, he gives in to me. And I'm not saying that is a horrible thing about him. I'm just saying that I know that sometimes that makes it harder for him. So, in my year of conquering, I'm determined. I want to hit my goal weight. I want to put money in savings. I want to put money into retirement. I want to make sure that I kind of control our expenses. And in order to control our expenses and make the times that we do actually get to eat out or, go on a date or do something special, like this year, we're supposed to go to Canada. I don't want to have to put everything on a credit card that we're going to have to pay off for another 3 years just so that we can, do this one trip. I want to be able to have money put back so that when we have this trip, we can get this paid off, hopefully relatively quickly, and we can plan another trip. And I know not every trip is going to be a trip of a lifetime, but I want these things to happen. Well, in order to put money back into savings, in order to put money into retirement, I need to plan my meals better, and I need to be better at sticking to my plan. So that's one of my goals for this year. If you struggle with meal planning, do what was suggested. Write it down on a Post-it note, or write it down someplace. Write it down in pencil on a sheet of paper if that's what you need to do. But write something down. It's going to help you when you go to the grocery store. It's going to help you so that you're not going, ew, this is on clearance. What can I do with this? And do I have the other things that I need to do for this? And if I make this recipe, do I have everything? Or are you buying more pasta? Because for the longest time, I was that girl that every time I would go to the store and I would see something, I'd go, oh, I can make this, but do I have? I'm not sure. So, one of the other things that I want to do soon, again, I did it towards the end of last year, is I made an inventory. This is what I have in the pantry. This is what I have in the freezer. This is what I have in my big freezer. This is what's in the refrigerator. What condiments do we have? What do I need to buy more of? What do I need to replace? And the good and the bad part about it is I would stock up on certain things and we would have enough. But honestly, my husband threw away an entire jar of Miracle Whip the other day that had never been opened, because I could get a rebate on it or it was on sale. And I thought, oh, I think I need this. So I bought another one. Y'all, I don't eat that much Miracle Whip, you know. So, and the other side of the coin is when you're planning your meals, especially, I mostly just plan my dinners. And for lunches, I will either plan something or I will take leftovers. So like the night that we have the zuppa Toscana soup, I'll probably take leftovers on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to have the stromboli. There's potentially not going to be leftovers on Tuesday, which is fine, because on Wednesday, actually, I have jury duty. So probably what I will do is I will make myself a wrap of some sort, so that I can throw that in a lunch bag and take it with me when I go to the courthouse for jury duty, because I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't know whether I'm actually going to be picked, whether I'm going to get down there, they're going to send me to my courtroom, and then they're going to say, nope, you're dismissed, which that's what happened last time. And that was several years ago. But you never know what's going to happen. So I'll take some snacks. I'll take probably a wrap or something like that I can throw together. And then Wednesday night, you know, I'm going to have the sausage and potato casserole. But I can plan for the things that I know are going on. The crispy baked cod, again, probably not going to have leftovers. Which is fine, because if I do that on Thursday, or if I do it on Tuesday, I'm not going to be in a position to take leftovers on Wednesday or Friday. Because Fridays, I don't take lunch for myself, but I make lunch for my husband. So you kind of have to work with what you have available. Like probably a couple of things that I'm going to need to talk to him about after he goes to work on Monday is whether he has a refrigerator. Is he going to have eating utensils? Am I going to have to start planning that stuff for him where he's going to have to take plastic utensils or, you know, actual flatware? Is he going to have a place to put his stuff, or am I going to have to get him a lunch bag and make sure that he has a freezer pack ready every day? Like with my daughter, I make her lunch. It's not something I have to do, but it's something I choose to do. When she decided to go meatless, I had to make sure that she had some sort of fruit, or, you know, like typically her lunch would be a basic lunch, don't feel good, in a hurry. She would have a cheese stick, an applesauce, a bag of chips or pretzels, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'm forgetting something. It seems like there was something else. But mornings where I had a little more time, she might have a quesadilla, salsa, some black olives, maybe some chips, if, you know, depending on whether I made her one or two of quesadillas, things like that, because I know kind of what she eats or how she eats. Sometimes I'd put an apple in there, or grape tomatoes, or something that would be quick and easy for her to eat. But you have to work with what you have available. I have a refrigerator. So if I wanted to take a big container of fruit with me at the beginning of the week and eat on it all week, I could do that, as long as it's not a fruit that went bad. I tend to take mine every day, because if I don't eat it, then I know I don't have to do it again. And I have a tendency that if I'm not hungry, if we get busy at work, I won't eat it. But kind of work with your schedule and what you have available. I know Joan at Joan's Pointed Plate, I know she has little meal planning sheets available. She actually does breakfast, lunch, and dinner for each day on hers. I created this one to kind of be like the Carrie L. I plan one meal. I plan dinner. That's my primary meal that I plan and I try to prep for. Like today, probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the bacon. I'm going to go ahead and cook up the turkey sausage for the soup for tomorrow night. That way all I have to do is get my stuff together and put it in the crock pot in the morning. That's easy. But kind of work around your schedule. But definitely do try to make those plans to pick. If it's just you, if it's you and your spouse, if it's you and your spouse and your children, kind of pick 10, pick 10 different meals. These are things that we have generally on hand. I know I can fix in a pinch. That way you always have a go-to meal. You can pick more than 10. You can start with 5. It just kind of depends, because as you're adding more recipes in, things that you're trying, you're going to find what works for you, what works for your family, what you enjoy, and it's good options. Anyway, I hope this helps, and if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me and ask. Again, these Post-its have been super helpful for me because I can change it. If something happens, I can change it easily. I don't have to take the white out. I don't have to get a pen. I don't have to use my erasable pencils, which are very handy, by the way. I've written it down. And you know what? If it's something that I don't use, I'm pulling out last year's calendar, just so you know. I still have Post-its at the beginning of my month. These are things that I've written out for dinners. It's easy to change them. Oh, wait, I want to have fried rice next week. I can easily pull that one and stick it on, my meal plan for next week. It's something easy. It's something that I can do. So, but if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will help in any way that I can. My primary goal in doing this is to try to help others be successful, because I'm telling you, when this couple said this, it was like a light bulb went off. And I was like, this is so simple, but that was my one thing. And a lot of times that's what we need to do. We need to pick one thing and focus on that. And that will lead us to do one more thing. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. I will probably be sharing, I will be listing, I'm putting these in my blog, my meal plan for the week. And I will probably be putting recipes down. These are the actual recipes. What I have linked in my blog coming out today are the recipes that I based these off of. This does not include my variations. If I wind up doing, my plan hopefully is to do a What's Cooking Wednesday for the soup tomorrow. But I don't know if it's actually going to come together. And if that happens, then I will definitely be putting what replacements or substitutions that I used in my blog for Wednesday. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. Please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps my channel. It helps me. And to be honest, y'all hold me accountable. Whether I know for sure that you've watched my videos or if you've commented, it helps and it holds me accountable. Anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks so much for watching.